All right, this is day one of Sculpt and Strengthen. All you need is a mat and your Pilates bar. All right, let's go ahead and get warmed up. We're starting with torso twist. So twist side to side, getting everything warmed up, getting the blood moving. Nice low impact exercise. So today's structure is we are doing 3 circuits, 3 moves, and we're repeating them 2 times. So for each move, we have 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest. All right, we're gonna go ahead and go into low impact butt kicks. So I'm just pulling my heel into my butt, warming up our hamstrings, continuing to get warmed up. Side to side, nice and easy. So as you can see, I'm wearing grip socks. That just helps to make sure I don't slip and slide on the mat. You can do it barefoot, you can do the workout on carpet, do whatever is comfortable for you. You can also wear tennis shoes if you have some feet issues or I don't want to put any extra strain on your feet. So pick the option that works best for you. All right, last move in our warm-up, we're gonna do a side squat. You don't have to sink as low, we're just warming up, stepping side to side. When I come down into the side lunge, I'm sitting back and down. My knees are facing you. Toes follow the knees, everything's pointing straight. Make sure everything's in proper alignment as you sink down. All right, start back at the top with those torso twists. We're gonna go through that warm up one more time. Warming up our back, our core. Little twist side to side. All right, sink down into those butt kicks. Second time around, we can go a little bit quicker. Maybe sink a little lower. Get a little bit of a squat as well as a hamstring pull. All right, and right into those side lunges. So today is lower body. So we're working our glutes, our hamstrings, our quads, our calves. And always a little bit of core since we're using that Pilates bar to help stabilize in those exercises. So for my Pilates bar, I have my 20-pound resistance bands on. This is week 1. Choose the resistance that's going to make you work, but not feel discouraged either. All right, let's go ahead and get into circuit number 1. Grab your Pilates bar. We have 40 seconds of a squat and press. So adjust your band to where you're able to get deep into a squat, but also enough leverage that you can press up overhead. So go ahead and step your feet into the bands. All right, we have an overhand grip here. We're gonna sink into a squat, press up at the top. I can already tell I need to lighten my resistance a little bit. So I'm just gonna lighten that band so I'm able to get into the press a little bit easier. So squat down, press up. 40 seconds. All right, so we have our bar here across our chest. My fingertips are pointing towards you. Sink down into a squat, press up at the top. 40 seconds on the clock. Let's go. So now we're getting a little bit of a shoulder press as well as working our lower body. Sink low into that squat. It's your glutes and your quads that are pushing you up. Your weight is in your heels as you push up. That's going to make sure you're engaging your glutes properly. Sink low. Exhale at the top. Inhale on the way down. Exhale at the top. One more. All right, we have 20 seconds of rest. Catch your breath. Our next move, I'm going to show you. Don't set it up yet. Catch your breath. We're putting the bar up over our shoulders, and we're going to do an alternating lunge. We're lunging back. All right, when you're ready, set that up. Few seconds here. So for this lunge, one thing to keep in mind is we're not stepping directly behind our front foot. Think of your feet like on a railroad track. So we have a little bit of distance between each foot. All right, let's set that up. Step back with the right, back to center, down with the left. Keep that tempo. So our upper body is just coming straight up, straight down. The weight is in our heels, bringing us back to that standing position. Get that back knee as low as you can. That back knee is bending 90 degrees. Core is strong. Weight is supported. A few more here. All right, and rest. All right, we have 20 seconds here. Our next move is a glute bridge. So we can keep the bar, or you can do this with just body weight. Come down onto the mat. Feet are planted. I'm going to add a little bit of resistance, so I'm holding the bar up over my head. Heels are planted, and I'm just lifting my booty up into that bridge and lowering down slowly. But my butt's not resting when I come down to the bottom. I'm just slightly tapping, squeezing at the top. 40 seconds. Up and down. Squeeze at the top. If the bar is too much, you can just do body weight. And if you need more resistance, what you can do is put one leg into the air. We're going through the circuit 2 times, so you can do one leg for each round. So there's always the option to bring it up a notch as well. But if you're comfortable here, just stay in this glute bridge with both feet planted. Squeeze at the top, slow lower down. All right, rest. We have 20 seconds. Grab a sip of water. We have to go through that circuit one more time. So if you remember, we're starting with that squat press. Put your feet in the straps. All right, let's get started. 40 seconds. Bar at my shoulders, down into a squat. Shoulder press at the top. Sink low. We're fully warmed up now. I'm going to turn sideways. You can see my knees are tracking straight over my ankles. It's like I'm sitting back and down into a chair and coming back up. Bending at the knees, but my back is staying strong and straight and lifted. So this is a full body move. We're getting lower body as well as shoulders in. Rest. Couple seconds here, and then we'll go back to that reverse lunge. So we're moving quickly through these circuits. As you can tell, that's also keeping our heart rate up. So we're getting a little bit of a cardio effect as well as sculpting. All right, go ahead and put the bar across your back here. 40 seconds, reverse lunges. Step back and up. Sink low, back to standing. It's the weight in that heel that's pulling you up to standing. I'm bending my back knee low, just barely kissing the mat, coming back to standing. My upper body is staying strong and lifted. It's my legs that are pulling me down and up. If you need to take the bar out, you can do that. If you need to add more resistance, put on your 50-pound resistance cables. This is your workout. We're all at different fitness levels. There's ways to modify. For this glute bridge, I'm going to go ahead and move the camera down a little bit so you can see me clearer. There we go. All right, come down to the mat, glute bridge. This time I'm going to show the advanced option. Last time I had my right leg lifted. This time I'm going to have my left leg lifted, and that's going to put extra resistance right there on my right glute. 40 seconds, let's go. If you need to keep it modified, both heels are planted on the mat. Good, press up, lower back down. Slight tap, and up. Don't forget to breathe. Down and up. Exhale, inhale. You're doing great. Couple more here. 1 and down. 2 and down. Rest. All right, I'm going to give you a couple extra seconds to rest here before we go into circuit 2. Come up slow. I don't want you to get lightheaded. Our next move is a deadlift. Let me reposition this so you can see me better. All right, so for a deadlift, get a little wobbly, I want to add on more resistance. So it's up to you, but I just want this to be as tight as possible so that way when I'm coming down into my deadlift, I can really feel that in my glutes and hamstrings. So we're going to be coming down with the bar. Knees are slight bend, but really we're putting all of the tension right here in our glutes, our hamstrings. Back is straight and coming back up. So I'm going to add on my different resistance bands. Right now I have 20s. I'm going to go up, or sorry, right now I have my 30s. So I'm going to go up to my purple, which is my 40 pounds. There is an option to use dumbbells as well if you want to do this workout without having to take the time to switch out the bands. So we're going to set that up with our feet in the straps. So I still don't have enough resistance, I can tell. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this band around 2 times. So that way, and I'm actually going to loop this through so it doesn't come undone on me. So this is wrapped around, giving me that nice tight tension. Your hamstrings and glutes are a lot stronger than you think. Those are big muscles. So let's go ahead. Don't be afraid to add on that tension. So once you've got the right resistance on, and it might take a couple exercises to really see how this feels. All right, so we have 40 seconds on the clock, deadlift. All right, so I'm coming down, slight bend in my knees, back is straight, and coming up to the top. Good. Sink down. I'm not craning my neck up. I'm looking straight at the floor ahead of me. Down and up. So you should feel that at the top of your hamstrings where they meet your glutes. Activate those booty muscles. We're sitting so much of the day. This is great to help alleviate back pain, helps with your posture, your stability. Last one. All right. Go ahead and unravel. We're going into a side step squat. So for this, go ahead and put your feet back in the straps. The bar is going to be up on your shoulders. So if you added a heavier resistance band, you can keep it and just lighten the resistance here by adjusting that strap, or put on a lower resistance, because we want the bar to be up over our shoulders. So I have a lot of tension there. We're coming alternating sides down to a squat, to the side, back. 40 seconds. Step to the right, sink low, back to the center. So I'm keeping my core engaged, back straight as I sink low. And as you can see, my feet are a little bit wider than hip width apart. We're doing a wide squat. Knees are bending, 90-degree angle, like you're sitting down into a chair, coming back up. Sink low, we have 15 more seconds. I probably need to up this resistance. Like, you can see my band has too much. It's kind of loose when I come down in that squat. I want to have heavy tension on the way up and down. Okay, rest. Next move is kickbacks. So we're going to come down to the mat, keep the bar set up just like it is. We're coming onto all fours. I am holding the bar here with my hands, and we're going to kick back. This time we're going to do just our right leg. Second time around, we'll do our left. All right, set that up, 40 seconds. Kick it out with that right leg. Good. So my upper body is staying still, stabilizing my core. My shoulders are holding that bar in place. Everything is activated, but especially my lower back and my glutes. When I come down to that kick out, it's like I'm pushing the back wall away from me. Good. Foot is flexed as I push out. I'm focusing that push out on my heel. All right, rest. 20 seconds, and then we're going back to that deadlift. So now it should be a little quicker to set that up. I'm going to wrap this. I'm going to tighten my strap first, and then I'm looping my band through, creating a little loop, and then securing that. So tighten your resistance band, make a little loop, pull it through. Good. Feet in the straps, starting at the top with deadlifts. 40 seconds. I'm starting at the bottom of the move, squeezing up. Lower that down, squeeze up. If you want to wrap the band twice, go for it. These bands are very strong. They can support it. Sink low. And I'm gliding this bar just down my shins and up. So the bar is staying close to my body. Focus on bracing your core, keeping your back straight as you lower down. It's all glutes and hamstrings and lower back pulling you back up. That's 40 seconds there. All right, so this time I'm going to keep a little bit extra tension for that side step squat. So I'm going to keep the strap where it's at. So in order to get it up over my shoulders, what I'm going to do is sink low into a squat, put it up here. All right, 40 seconds. Step wide, sink down, back to center. Other side. You're doing great. We're halfway through this workout. After this circuit, we just have one more circuit. We'll do that 2 times, and then we're into our cool down. This is an awesome day 1 workout. I like getting lower body done at the beginning of the week, because for me, it's the hardest. We're activating all of our big muscles. Great way to start off on a Monday. Sink low, come up. All right, get out of that. Glute kickbacks on our left leg. Come down to all fours, holding that bar. Right foot is stable, and now we're kicking out with that left foot. Good. This one's a nice, slow, controlled movement. Catch your breath here. Press out, back in. You're doing great. Heel is flexed as you push that back wall out and away. Feel that constant tension on the band. Couple more here. Down. All right, circuit 3. Come up slowly, catch your breath. I'm going to take a sip of water. Move number 1 is a pulse squat. So I'm going to come down into a squat, put my bar here up over my shoulders. This time we're staying on the low part of the squat. So we're coming down, halfway up, down, halfway up. 40 seconds. Get that set up. Take a couple deep breaths in. All right, if you're ready, let's go. All right, sink down, halfway up. So just little controlled movements here. We're keeping it low. So there's no rest for those glutes. They're activated the whole time. If this is too difficult, you could do a wall sit or take your bar off. Just do body weight. Come on now, we just got 10 more seconds. This one's hard, I know it. Don't forget to breathe. 3, 2, 1. Come out of it. Whew. All right. Kind of pat out your quads. Catch your breath. All right, our next move is going to be a curtsy squat. So for that, the bar is going to be up over our shoulders as well. This time, we're coming down into a lunge, but our back foot is crossing over behind our front foot. One thing to keep in mind is my toes and knees are pointing straight in this position. So I'm going to go ahead and loosen my strap a little bit. I don't want to have any tension on your neck. So if you feel it pulling on your neck, loosen the strap. I'm going to get my bands out of the way. All right, go ahead and set that up. Alternating curtsy lunge. 40 seconds. Step back behind with the right leg, back to center, and left. It's okay to keep this slow. If you need to take the bar out so you can keep your balance, you could also have a chair in front of you. Get rid of the bar, hold on to the back of that chair. This is your workout. I'm just glad you showed up today. So we're looking for progress over perfection. So if for the first couple of weeks you're modifying, that's fine. Just keep showing up. One more here. Good. All right, take that bar off. 20 seconds to rest. Move number 3 is calf raises. So go ahead and keep your feet in the straps. Bar stays across your shoulders. And now we're just going to be coming up onto our toes, getting a little calf stretch at the top and lowering back down. 40 seconds. Lift up, little squeeze, and down. Little squeeze and down. So we're lowering slowly, really feeling that right in the calves. Strengthening and stretching those stabilizing muscles. It should start to burn after a few reps. Keep going. You could also take the bar out of the equation and just do body weight. One more. Good. All right, we just have to go through that circuit one more time. So remember, we're starting with that pulse squat. All right, so bar is going to be up over our shoulders. We're staying at that low part of the squat. 40 seconds. Halfway up. Lower down. Halfway up. Sink it low. Weight is in the heels. Your lower back is straight. I'm looking a few feet ahead of me on the floor. I'm not straining my neck up, looking at you. Feel that burn. 10 more seconds. You got it. Remember, there's always the option to do a wall sit. Last one. All right, 20 seconds, rest. Catch your breath here. We're going back to that curtsy lunge. Make sure your space is clear. All right, set it up. I'm gonna go ahead and start the timer. All right, cross back, lunge down, over to the other side. Sink low. Knees and toes are pointing straight, crossing that back leg behind, sinking low. So we're working on balance, stability, as well as working our lower body. Just 10 more seconds here. You're doing great. Even I lose my balance sometimes. All right, rest. We just have to do those calf raises and then we are done. We're doing a slight variation. So this last time our toes were pointed straight. This time we're going to angle to where our toes are pointed out. Heels are making a little bit of a triangle. So heels together, toes out. We're just going to work the calf muscle from a different angle. So set that up, 40 seconds. Lift and lower. Squeeze and down. Working on our stability, flexing our feet, our calves. Kind of gives me a nice little stretch at the bottom of my foot as well. Squeeze at the top. After this, we have our cool down. You're doing so good. And down. All right, go ahead and set the bar down. You did great. We made it. Let's take a deep breath in. Arms up overhead. Reach to one side. Feel that stretch all along their side. Feels so good. Other side. All right, now we're going to grab our elbows and we're just going to lower our head between our legs. Go ahead and rest your hands on the mat. Let your lower body stretch as your upper body hangs. Release that tension in your back. All right, we're going to come over to our right leg, little hamstring stretch. If your hands don't make it to your feet, you can grab onto your quad or your calves or your shins. Little stretch here. Other side. Stretching that left hamstring. Back to center. We're going to slowly roll up. Head is the last thing to come up. So now we're going to find our balance and come into a quad stretch. So just bring your heel into your booty. Knee is pointed straight down. Feel that stretch in your quad. Hold it here for a couple seconds. Good, now switch sides. All right, last stretch is a figure 4. So we can do this on the mat or standing. I'm gonna come down to my mat, lie on my back, and now I'm putting my right ankle across my left knee, and I'm gonna loop my hands through and grab onto the back of my left leg. And now I'm using my elbow to give me a slight stretch in that right glute. So we're making a 4 with our legs. Feel that stretch, the outer glute. Switch sides. Kind of roll out the ankle. All right, extend your arms and legs. Take a deep breath. You did so awesome. I will see you tomorrow for core cardio.